Using Project Curve, you can create complex 3D sketches, which is otherwise not possible with the conventional tools. Now, in this example, I will show you this tool using the profile of a fan blade. So I'll start with Sketch, and I'm going to select the top plane. All right, right here, I'll make the top view of a fan blade using Spline tool. So here we are. And now I'll select arc tool, and I'm just going to create this arc here. So this is just the profile of a fan blade from the top view. And now let's exit out of this sketch. All right, now I'll select another plane. So here I'll again go to Sketch, and let's just select the front plane. Here we are. Okay, so from the front plane, I will just create again an arc, and I'm just going to make an arc that kind of looks like this. All right, now our final shape will be a combination of these two sketches. So here I'll exit out of this sketch, and currently what we have is this. So this may look like a very simple kind of shape, and there is hardly anything. We have two of these geometries, but first let me just go to this first sketch, and I'll edit this. And I'll move it further here. So I'll just move it a little bit here. All right, exit the sketch, and I will also modify this arc so that it is at least long enough for this one. So here I'll select this, edit sketch, and it should be here. All right, so we've got this thing set up properly. Now let's just use this thing to create a composite curve. So for that, I'll go to Feature and Curve, and here we have the Project Curve tool. All right, in the Project Curve, we have two options. We have a Sketch on Faces and Sketch on Sketch. I'll start with this one, Sketch on Sketch. All right, select the first sketch, which is this one. Then select the second one, and here we are. We have got a composite sketch. Now you can see what we are getting using this thing. So we have got this profile, and currently we will end up with this kind of profile when we finish this sketch. So it is a combination of both of these sketches. So if you look at this one from this view, it is tracing this arc, and if you look at from the top, it's just tracing this profile of the fan. So it's a combination of these two. Now if I click OK, we are going to get this. So this is the profile which we got. Now conventionally, it is really very difficult to make this kind of profile. And if you want to see what we got here, then you can use surfaces to kind of fill this area. So here I'll go to surfaces, and I'll select filled surface. I'll select this one, this 3D sketch, and OK. And here we are. Now you can see what we have here. So this is what we got. Now, as you can see, it is really very difficult to create these kind of profiles using conventional methods. Now, if you want to modify this, you can go to the sketch and you can just modify it. So here I'll go to the sketch 2 and I'll just modify it further. So maybe I'll just move it like this, and here I'll move it even further, kind of like this here, and exit out of this, and once again it will just modify it. Now that's one example of creating this projected curve shape. Now let's see another example, and for that I'll start with sketch. So I'll go to sketch and ellipse, and here I'll select the top plane. All right, here on the top plane I'll just create an ellipse, a small ellipse kind of like this, exit out of this sketch. All right, now I will create another spline. So I'll go to spline and I'll select the front plane, and here I'll just create a spline kind of like this. So here we are. So in this case, this is our spline shape. All right, exit out of this sketch, and now I'm going to extrude this spline using surface tool. So using surfaces, we will be able to just extrude this sketch. So I'll go to surface, and here we have extrude surface option. Select it and extrude it in both the directions. So I'll extrude it here as well as here in both of these directions. So it should be just big enough for this ellipse. Here we are, and click OK. All right, so this is what we have. Now you can go to features, curve, and project curve, and you can now project this spline on these surfaces using sketch on faces option. So now using sketch on faces, I will project this ellipse on these surfaces. So the first thing that we need to select here is the sketch, so I'll select it, and the second thing is face where we want to project this. So I just want to project it here, so I'll select it, and as you can see, it just projected this ellipse right here. So currently it is projecting on this face because that's the one which I selected. It's not projecting it here, but if you select this face right here, if you click here, it's going to project it here. If, however, you just want to reverse its direction, you can do that as well. So even after I selected this part of the face, I can select this reverse projection, and now it's going to project it here. If you want to project it on both the sides, just select bidirectional, and now it's going to project on both the sides. Now with these options, click OK, and here we are. Now these sketches are projected here on all of these surfaces, and that's how you can project curves on curves to create these kind of complex 3D curves using multiple sketches, or you can just create again 3D sketches using surface and sketches.